put 3, Angie's 4, Steve is here, yes. Okay. Hope we get the show on the road. Is Pat Thompson out there? No? I see Mr. Dornbush, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Afternoon, Chairman.
Hey, do you know if anyone has signed up that wish to address the meeting tonight or not?
No, to my knowledge, no one has signed up to address the committee.
All right, then, then with the consent of our Assistant State's Attorney, Lecturia, I'm going to dispense with this statement that I generally make before the meeting.
You can go ahead. Yep.
Okay, just wanted to make things right. Okay, in that case, then let's call this meeting to order of the Zoning Committee, Winnebago County, February 24, 2021. It's 4:31. For a roll call, myself, Jim Webster, and then we have Angie Gorel, Steve Schultz, David Kelly, and Aaron Booker so far. That's who we have. Also, right now, absent right now is Jazz Billich and Tim Neighbors. But also at the meeting here, we have Troy Krupp and Carl Palmquist from staff, zoning staff. Welcome. And Chris Dornbush is also here. And as mentioned, our Assistant State's Attorney, Lecturia Vaughn, is here as well. Did I miss anyone?
I just signed on. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, there's Jazz. Jazz Billich is here as well. Okay. Maybe Tim will be joining us as well. Okay, with that, I need to approve the minutes of the February 24th meeting, our last meeting. Someone want to make a motion for that? Motion by Jazz, seconded by
Dave Kelly.
Seconded by
Dave Kelly.
Dave Kelly and Angie Gorel. Okay, any additions, deletions, corrections? None? Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes? Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Minutes approved. Okay, then we have a couple of agenda items here tonight. The first one is ZO 121, a map amendment to rezone plus minus 7.93 acres from ag priority district to the rural ag district. And this is in District 4. I'm sure you all have your information in front of you, or you're familiar with it at least. This came to us with a recommendation from the Zoning Board of Appeals of approval. Anyone wish to speak to the, oh, we got to get a motion to get it on the table. That's a motion by Mr. Booker, thank you. And a second by Mr. Billich. Okay. Discussion? Anybody like to go on this? Mr. Booker.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, I'd like to add that I have spoken with a couple of people in the know on this particular issue, and it sounds as if the surrounding properties already do contain livestock. The person that's or the property owner that's making this request has children in 4-H, and they're looking to take in some small livestock. They're not looking to go with very large livestock. It's smaller livestock for 4-H projects. So if the property surrounding this are already contain livestock, then I'm all for it. That's all I had to say on that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll say I do believe there was some conversation going down that road within the minutes of the ZBA meeting. And so as a reminder, that's what we should do, is keep our remarks as they pertain to what's on record from the ZBA. And so thank you for that, Aaron. Anyone else? No one else? Going once, going twice. All in favor of ZO 121? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, the next three now are all tied at the hip. Number 2, number 3, and number 4, they're all variances. They all come from the same applicant, as you're well aware. And VO 121, VO 221, and VO 321. So I think we can probably, as we've done before, talk about these en masse or together or what have you. But we will be voting on them separately, each one separately. So with that, if that's okay with our
Move.
state's attorney, okay, thank you. All right, so somebody made a motion?
Yep, I so move.
Okay,
Second.
Jazz made a motion to get this on the table. Okay, discussion on one or any one of these? Anyone want to jump in and start? Mr. Billich?
Just based on obviously what was discussed at the meeting, but actually off of previous meetings in regards to this particular location and in regards to this particular business that is run on this location, there's always been a positive reaction and what they do in the area, especially with how they've been there for as long as they have. So I definitely just to make a judgment of character alone in regards to the previous interactions that I've had at Zoning Board of Appeals and including in what I've read from the notes is that these guys are really trying to continue to operate very smoothly and effectively in this area. And they do provide a heck of a service out there and a heck of a service to a lot of people that are in that field that are demand the kind of service that they give as far as the trailers and everything else like that goes. So just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, thank you. And as a reminder, these variances typically I have conditions, so I wanted to get that in on record that you're discussing or you're familiar with the conditions, so forth. So anyone else?
Yes, I would like to speak on it. That is a vast area out there, and I'm so happy to see that it's not all going to be on a hard surface. With everything spread out the way it is, and if it was on a hard surface, we would have water problems, runoff problems. So I'm pleased to see that what he's asking for, that he's not asking for a hard surface to park all his, their vehicles of one nature or another. I'm looking at the map, he's got a lot of business going on out there. So I'm pleased to see that they're not going to have it all on a hard surface. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Goro, anyone else?
Yeah, this is Steve.
Mr. Krupp wants to weigh in. Troy?
Can you hear me?
Oh, Steve Schultz.
Oh, Mr. Schultz, okay. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I read through the minutes just like the rest of you and the staff report, and I actually am in agreement with staff who indicated that they were not in favor of these variances. So that obviously weighs heavily with me. In addition to that, in the testimony, the theme that kept coming up in terms of response to, well, why do you have to do this as it relates to this specific property? The response was, well, the 400 trailers, the 400 trailers, the 400 trailers, and the 12 acres. But that in and of itself, the desire to have 400 trailers, a very specific amount, is not a reason for us to approve this variance. So for those reasons, I'll be opposed to them.
Thank you. Mr. Krupp? Troy?
Hi, Jim. I just wanted to point out that they will ultimately pave the lot. The surface variation basically will give them 5 years to do it, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the entire lot will be paved. So it's not waiving it forever, it's just extending their time period which to put the pavement in. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Trupp, this is Angie. Is it wise for that whole area? Because like you say, it's 12 acres, it's big. To have hard surface on all of that? When you're talking about the runoff of just the water, because that area out there is just kind of on a hill, but doesn't have that much pitch to it. And so is it really environmentally safe to have a lot of that area with a hard surface?
We were not supportive of all the variations because we did not feel the majority of the standards were being met. Specifically, we did not feel the hardship standard, the unique standard, and the intent standard was met. And for that reason, we did not support the variations. We feel that the landscaping should be put in for that reason.
But isn't the landscaping only on the perimeter?
There's three types of variations. One's for interior landscaping, one's two deal with landscaping. One's for perimeter landscaping and one's for interior landscaping. And the third variation is for the surfacing requirements. What I can do, if you would like me to, I can read the intent of the landscaping requirements.
Does anyone want to hear this?
Not really. I just wanted to make that statement because that is a very, very large area. And to have that kind of, that's farmland all around that. So it's highway, a major highway. And to have that kind of space and not have something to absorb a heavy rain or anything. I'm just pleased that as I looked at that picture, I saw his trailers and so forth were actually on a grassy area where that water would be absorbed. And I just don't want to see a whole 12 acres with blacktop on it. And even when you landscape that much area on the perimeter and perhaps a little bit on the interior, it's still not going to stop all that runoff of water.
Okay. Let the record reflect here. We've been joined by our Chairman Chiarelli.
Mr. Trupp has a question.
Go ahead, Troy.
I just wanted to point out, Angie, you are correct. Part of the intent of the landscaping requirements is for stormwater. There's even more to that. If you want me to read the entire intent, I will, but you are correct. Part of the intent is to help with controlling stormwater.
I'm going to vote for all three of these because I know that Mr. Scalia, that's not his name, Stacia, has been very good and keeps that nice and clean out there. Even as you look at the pictures tell a lot from the air. And I'm going to vote on all three of these. And since they have 5 years to do something, then I'm all for this.
I'd like to add one thing here that although I may not be in agreement with all of them either, the standards that is I'm talking about, that's what we also take into consideration as the standards. And unlike special use permit, with the variance, you need to find yourself in agreement with the preponderance of them, not with all of them. So at any rate, I just wanted to throw that in there, get it on the record as well. And any other discussion? Anyone? Anyone, no one. Okay, number 2 then is, it's sounds funny. Number 2 is V0121. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, let the record reflect. Mr. Schultz is a no, the rest are an aye vote. The next one is V0221. Take a vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Opposed?
No.
Let the record reflect, same as the previous vote. And finally, V0321. for the record. Now, these all came with the conditions and so forth. Okay, VO 321, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, same way on that one then. That's all we have. That's been approved. Any other matters you want to bring up here tonight? This afternoon, anyone? Anyone? Going once, going twice, that's it, that's all. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Angie, a second by Mr. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Jim.